Chapter 3: Function of Financial Management. Role of Finance Manager. First bullet. Having examined the field of finance and some of its more recent developments. Ibig sabihin nito, ang tungkulin ng isang finance manager ay sinusuri nito ang lahat ng nakapaloob na activities or gawain pagdating sa finance. Halimbawa na lang, kung ang fund ba ay sapat or nagso-shortage na, kung may income ba ngayong taon o wala, kung marami ba ang pag-outflow ng cash, at iba pa. Second bullet, makes the decision involving planning, acquiring, and utilizing funds. Tungkulin rin ng isang finance manager na gumawa ng desisyon tungkol sa pagplaplano, pagkuha ng iba pang impormasyon at sa paggamit ng funds o pera ng isang kumpanya or firm. Third bullet, allocate fund, current, and fixed assets. It means, role din ng isang finance manager na ibukod ang current at fixed assets ng isang kumpanya pagdating sa pagre-record at pagre-report ng isang financial transactions. Dahil ang current assets ay ang pagmamay-ari ng isang business na dapat ay i-consume lamang sa loob ng isang taon. Halimbawa nito ay ang cash, cash equivalents, marketable securities, prepaid expenses, accounts receivables, at inventory, at iba pa. At ang fixed assets naman ay ito yung pagmamay-ari ng isang kumpanya na hindi madaling palitan ng pera ng isang kumpanya. Halimbawa nito ay land, buildings, machines, equipment, furniture, fixture, PPE, at iba pa. Fourth bullet, they determined also the market value of the firm of its shareholders. Ibig sabihin nito, dapat alamin nito ang market value ng firm para alam ng isang finance manager ang presyo ng isang stock na maire-reflect din sa magiging income ng isang company sa mga shareholders. Fifth bullet, they must also know the appropriate risk-return trade-off. Ibig sabihin nito ay dapat alamin din nito ang trade-off, which is para malaman nito ang pagtaas ng value ng income ng isang firm mula sa mga shareholders at mai-impluwensyahan din nito ang pag-operate at pag-ayos ng financing ng isang firm. And last bullet, in decision making, the finance manager makes decision involving planning, acquiring, and utilizing funds. The decision affected the market value of the firm's stock, which leads to wealth maximization. It means, ang pagdedesisyon ng isang finance manager na involve ang planning, acquiring, and utilizing of funds ay pwedeng maging dahilan ng pagtaas ng income at fund o pagyaman ng isang firm. Itong figure na to, which is the financial manager's roles, ipinapakita ang kabuuan or summary ng isang role ng financial manager, which is, sa first box, financial manager makes decision na involve ang acquisition of funds, impact on risk and return, affect the market price of common stock, and lead to shareholders' wealth maximization. Then, yung nasa isang side, which is analysis and planning, dito sinusuri kung anong gagawin na plano or strategies ng isang kumpanya or firm para sa isang pagproproduce ng isang products. Sa kabilang side naman, which is utilization of funds, dito naman nakapaloob na dapat sa paggamit ng pera mula sa mga kakailanganin ay maging maingat para hindi mag-cause ng loss sa isang firm or company. Finance organization, it is associated with top officer of the firm and is a simplified organization chart that highlights the finance activity in a large firm. In finance organization, these are board of directors, which are the vice president of finance, or some chief financial officer. The Vice President of Finance is the one who coordinates the activities of the Treasurer and the Controller. The Controller's Office handles the cost and financial account, tax payment, and management information system. And the Treasurer's Office is the one who are responsible for managing the firm, cash and credit, from its financial planning up to its capital expenditures. Corporate governance is a process of monitoring managers and aligning their incentives with shareholders' goals. Ibig sabihin nito, from the word governance, dito nakapaloob kung paano pamahalaan o pangunahan ng mga nakakataas or top managers ng isang company kasama ang mga shareholders para magampanan nila ang kanilang tuntunin or goals para sa kanilang company or firms. The monitors inside the public firms are the board of directors, and the monitors outside the firm include auditors, analysis, investment banks, and credit agencies. May dalawang nagmamonitor sa isang firm. Ito ay ang board of directors, which is minomonitor nila ang inside the company at ang mga activities na ginagawa nito tulad ng pag-i-invest ng isang pera or other type of investment. Second is ang financing, kung saan ginagawaan ng plano every day or every year ang financial ng isang company or firm. And third, ang operate, kung saan minomonitor din nila ang pagmamanage ng isang firm. Ang mga nagmamonitor outside the firm ay ang mga auditors, analysis, investment banks, and credit agencies, which is minomonitor nila ang isang company or firm kung ito ba ay may other type pa ba ng investment, kung ito ba ay may sapat na kapital, at kung ito ba ay nagsho-shortage na ang kanilang financial. External auditor. Dito naman ay kung saan minomonitor at sinusuri nila kung tama ba at sinusunod nila ang mga rule, regulations, and law na ipinapatupad ng isang firm or company pagdating sa pag-records ng financial statements of a company or organization, o sa madaling salita ay para maging bias ito. Investment analysis, keep track of the firm's performance. Dito naman ay kinikip nila lahat ng mga documents ng kanilang performance para nang sa gayon ay may pagbabasehan ang isang firm para gumawa ng mga evaluation na dapat sundin pagdating sa mga business activities at para i-report sa investment analysis. Next is investment bank, which help firms access capital markets. Dito naman ay tinutulungan ng mga bank or dito humihiram ang mga karamihan ng mga firms or company para magkaroon ng capital at magkaroon ng funds para sa kanilang mga gagawing activities. Next is credit analysis. Examine a firm's financial strength for its debt holders. Dito naman ay tungkulin nitong suriin ang lahat ng debt or utang ng isang kumpanya at tungkulin nitong suriin kung kaya ba ng isang kumpanya or firm na bayaran ang mga utang nito. Next is government, also monitors business activities through the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP, and so forth. Dito naman sa government, ang gobyerno ang isa sa mga nagmamonitor sa mga activities ng isang kumpanya at minomonitor din ng Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR kung ito ba ay nagbabayad ng sapat at tamang buwis, at kasama na rin sa pagmamonitor ng isang kumpanya ay ang Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC at iba pang government sectors na nagmamonitor sa mga kumpanya kung tama ba o mali ang kanilang ginagawa at kung sila ba ay legal or illegal firm or company. Job in finance. The job in finance are most people who earn a bachelor's in finance work in areas including commercial banking, financial planning, investment banking, money managing, insurance, and real estate. Financial analysis planners and bankers can move up their respective ladders to position of significant power such as chief officer. Ine-explain lamang niya ito na sa pagdating sa job in finance ay ang mga tao na pwedeng i-hire or ang mga bachelors na pwedeng i-hire ay kaya lamang nagampanan ang role ng isang finance manager sa isang company or firm. Example nito ay ang mga financial planner, financial analysis, accountant, management consultant, social media manager, and actuary. Ethical behavior. Ethics of primary importance in any practice of finance. Finance professionals commonly manage others people's money. For instance, corporate managers control the stockholders' firm, bank employees perform cash receipts and disbursement function, and investment advisors manage people's investment portfolios. Ethical behavior is acting in a manner that is in tandem with what society considers to be good morals. Ethical behaviors are important because they guide people's actions. For example, ethical behavior includes honesty, integrity, fairness, and a variety of other positive traits. Those who have others' interests in mind when they make decisions are displaying ethical behavior. Ethical behavior is respect the dignity, diversity, and rights of individuals and groups of people para mas mapabuti ang pagpapatakbo ng isang company or firms. Ethical behavior have mas good communication para mapagkasunduan kung ano ang mga dapat gawin at ang pinakaimportante ay ang katapatan. At pag ang business or firm ay may ethical behavior ay maganda ang isang environment ng isang firm or business. Chapter 4: Business Organization and Trends. The business firm is an entity designed on organized raw material, labor, and machines with the goal of producing goods and or services. Pinapaliwanag lamang dito na ang business firm ay mayroong organized raw material, labor, and machines na para gagamitin nila sa pagproproduce ng kanilang product and services at pwede nilang gamitin ito sa pagproproduce ng new innovative product and services ng isang company or firm. Every society, no matter what type of economy it has, relies on business firms to organize resources and transform them into products. In market economies, most firms choose their own price, output level, and method of production. They get the benefits sales revenue, but they also must pay the cost of the resources they use. Pinapaliwanag din dito na nakadepende pa rin ang pag-organisa ng mga resources na kinuha ng mga business firms katulad ng mga raw material sa pagtra-transform ng mga new innovative products o pagbabago ng isang produkto na kanilang ibebenta. At karamihan sa mga firms or company na gumamit ng mga raw materials para mag-produce ng new product ay sila na rin ang siyang nagpapataw ng presyo o level at method ng production para makuha nila lahat ng benefits o income ng isang product. Pero sa bandang huli, dapat kailangan pa rin nilang bayaran ang mga resources na kanilang ginamit sa pagproproduce ng kanilang product. Proprietorship is a business owned by a single person who has complete control over a business. The business itself does not pay any income taxes. The owner itself or the proprietor have the responsibility to pay his or her debt in business. Ang proprietorship, ibig sabihin nito ay iisang tao lang ang nagmamay-ari ng isang business, which is responsibilidad ni proprietor lahat ng activities ng kanyang business. Responsibilidad niya ring bayaran ang lahat ng kanyang utang. Ang proprietor din ang kaisa-isang nagkokontrol sa kanyang sa lahat ng paggawa ng desisyon at pag-manage ng isang business. At ang business finances at personal finances ng isang business proprietor ay hindi magkahiwalay, pero pagdating naman sa accounting perspective, ang business ay nakahiwalay sa personal entity ng proprietor, at ang business din ay hindi na nagbabayad ng income taxes, at ang nagbabayad na lang ng income tax ay ang sole proprietor, which is ang owner ng isang sole proprietorship business. Advantages of proprietorship. Number 1, ease of entry and exit. A sole proprietorship requires no formal chapter and is inexpensive to form and dissolve. Ibig sabihin nito ay may kakayahan sila na i-enter ang kanilang mga products o madali na lang ito para sa kanila, and if it is new, innovative, and services para i-promote sa lahat ng customers at tangkilikin ito. At may kalayaan ang mga sole proprietorship business na magbenta o mag-render ng kani-kanilang services kung ito man ay gusto ng kanilang mga customers at maging ang lahat ng tao. Number 2, full ownership and control. The owner has full control, reaps all profits and all losses. Ibig sabihin nito, ang owner lamang ang may control na mag-manage ng buong business. Halimbawa, kung ang business ay kumita o nag-earn ng malaking income, ang proprietor o owner lamang ay may control na gumawa or bumili ng ibang property for the improvement of the business, at isa pa ay ang sole proprietor lamang ang kaisa-isang mag-earn ng malaking income na para sa kanya or for personal at para sa business. Tax savings. The entire income generated by the proprietorship passes directly to the owner. This may result in a tax advantage if the owner's tax rate is less than the rate of a corporation. Ibig sabihin nito ay hindi na separate ang tax na babayaran mo sa business at sa personal income tax. Bagkus, hindi na magbabayad ang isang sole proprietorship business kung ang income ay less than sa income ng corporation, dahil ang babayaran na lang na tax ay sa personal income ng owner. Sa paraan na iyon ay makasave na ang business pagdating sa pagbabayad ng tax, at imbes ibabayad ito ay pwede itong gamitin na pandagdag sa iba pang expenses o bibilihin for the improvement of the business. And number 4, few government regulation. A sole proprietorship has the greatest freedom as compared with any form of business organization. Ipinapahayag nito na ang sole proprietorship ay may kalayaan na gumawa ng iba't ibang business activities kaysa sa mga ibang form ng business organization na makakatulong para mag-earn ng malaking income, tulad na lang ng paggawa ng dry run para sa kanilang products, paggawa ng new innovative product or services para mas maging patok ito sa lahat ng customers at tangkilikin ito, at iba pa. Disadvantage of sole proprietorship. Number 1, unlimited liability. The owner is personally liable or responsible for any and all business debts. Thus, the owner's personal assets can be claimed by the creditors if the firm defaults on its obligation. Ibig sabihin nito, makokontrol ng owner ang pag-utang para sa business at may kalayaan siyang ipangbayad ang kanyang ibang assets sa kanyang business if ever na nagsushortage na ang business sa fund. Number 2, limitation in raising capital. Fundraising ability is limited. Resources may be limited to the assets of the owner, and growth may depend on his or her ability to borrow money. It means that may limitasyon pagdating sa pagtaas ng case ng capital kasi ito ay ibabase din sa kakayahan ng isang uri ng business at may limitasyon din ang paghihiram ng kapital sa mga bangko dahil sinisuri at sinisigurado nila kung meron ba itong kakayahan na bayaran ito bilang isang sole proprietor. And lastly, number 3, lack of continuity. Upon death or retirement of the owner, the proprietorship ceases to exist. Ibig sabihin nito ay kapag dumating na ang time na nawala or namatay o nag-retire na ang isang owner ng sole proprietorship business na ang kaisa-isang tao na nagmamanagement ng business, wala itong mapag-iiwanan para i-manage ito at magtuloy-tuloy ang pagtakbo ng business. At may posibilidad pa itong business na ito ay hindi na mag-e-exist. Pwera na lang kung ipapamana nito ang business sa kanyang relatives or family member. At may mga kondisyon ang sole proprietorship para maging ideal form of business organization ito. Dapat ang business ay may sapat na fund or may insurance na katulungan para maitaguyod ulit ang business at malabanan ang risk. Ang owner dapat ay hindi nila panatilihin ang mga business activities na makakaapekto sa pagkakakomplikado sa isang business para maiwasan na rin ang pag-violate sa government. At lastly, itong uri ng business ay hindi kinakailangan na humiram sa mga bangko ng malaking amount para sa business. Kinakailangan lamang na humiram ito ng sapat at may kakayahan na bayaran para ito ay hindi maging cause ng problema sa isang business. Partnership. A partnership is a legal arrangement in which two or more persons agree to contribute capital or services to the business and divide the profits or losses that may be derived therefore. So, alam naman natin na ang salitang partnership ay binubuo ng dalawa o higit pang individual na nagkasundo at sumang-ayon na paghatian ang mga kita at pagkalugi sa pagtatayo ng isang negosyo. Partnership may be operate under varying degrees of formality. For example, isang formal ang pakikipagtulungan ay maaaring maitaguyod gamit ang isang nakasulat na kontrata na kilala bilang Partnership Agreement which is filed by Security and Exchange Commission. Partnership may be either general or limited. General partnership is one in which each partner has unlimited liability for the debts incurred by the business. Ang general ay ang pangkalahatang personal na pananagutan para sa mga utang ng negosyo. Ang isang general partner ay aktibong namamahala at nagsasanay ng kontrol sa kumpanya. General partners usually manage the firm and may enter into contractual obligation on the firm's behalf. Profits and assets ownership may be divided in any way upon by the partners. For example, sabihin natin na si Ellie and Kali ay nag-decide na mag-open ng baking store. Ang pangalan ng store nila ay E&K Bakery. By opening a store together, Ellie and Kali are both general partners in the business EK Bakery. It is important to note that each general partner must be involved in the business. For example, Ellie may take care of logistic and purchasing orders while Kali oversees the store operations. The income generated by the business is split between the two. At the same time, these two are equally responsible for any losses incurred by the store. Limited partners is one containing one or more general partners and one or more limited partners. The personal liability of general partner for the firm's debt is unlimited, while the personal liability of limited partners is limited to their investment. Ang mga partner ay maaaring mamuhunan, subalit wala silang direct management involvement. Maging sa puhunan ng tanging pananagutan ng limited partners ay nakatuon lamang sa halaga ng kanilang ibinibigay na puhunan sa negosyo. Example of limited partnership. For example, ang paggawa ng isang pelikula. Ang limited partnership ay karaniwang matatagpuan sa mga proyekto na pinaghihigpitan ng oras tulad ng paggawa ng pelikula at mga negosyo sa real estate. Ang direktor, manunulat at editor ng isang pelikula ay nagsisilbing general partner. Ang mga kumpanya na namumuhunan ng pera sa paggawa ng pelikula naman ay ang mga limited partnership. In a real estate market, ang isang bihasang tagapamahala ng pag-aari ay general partner at ang mga namumuhunan naman sa labas ay nagsisilbing limited partner. Advantage of partnership. Number 1 is of information. Forming a partnership may require relatively little effort and low start-up cost. Ipinapahayag nito na dapat sa pagbuo ng isang pakikipag-partnership ay maaaring mangangailangan ng pagsikap at mababang gastos sa pag-start up ng isang business. Number 2, additional sources of capital. A partnership has the financial sources of several individuals. Ang partnership ay may mga mapagkukunan ng financial resources, and they are many different sources of capital, each with its own requirements and investment goals. Debt financing, which essentially means you borrow money and repay it with interest. Equity financing, where money is invested in your business in exchange of part ownership. Number 3, management base. A partnership has a broader management base or expertise than a sole proprietorship. Ibig sabihin nito, ang partnership has a broader management o may malawak na management base o expertise kesa sa isang nagmamay-ari lamang o sa sole proprietorship. Belief and behaviors are determined how companies, employees, and management interact and handle outside business transactions. Number 4, tax implication. A partnership, like a proprietorship, does not pay any income taxes. The income or loss of the business is distributed among the partners in accordance with the partnership, and each reports his or her portion, whether distributed or not, on personal income tax return. Tulad ng sole proprietorship, ang partnership ay hindi na rin nagbabayad ng anumang buwis sa kita. Ang kita o pagkawalan ng negosyo ay ipinamamahagi sa mga kapartner alinsunod sa pakikipagsosyo or partnership, kung saan ang income tax na lamang ng bawat isa sa mga members ng partnership ay doon na lang tatanggalan ng tax o buwis. Disadvantages of partnership. Number 1, unlimited liability. General partners have unlimited liability for the debts and litigations of the business. Ibig sabihin nito, ang general partner ay walang limitasyong pananagutan para sa mga utang ng negosyo. They will not have to sell their own possessions to pay the debts of the business. Number 2, lack of continuity. A partnership may dissolve upon the withdrawal or death of a general partner, depending on the provisions of the partnership. It means that if the partner who dies or leaves o kung sino man ang nawala sa kanila has an specialized management or technical skills which cannot be replaced easily, na hindi madaling palitan ito, kailangan niya munang ipaalam ito o ipa-confirm sa kanyang partners para tuloy-tuloy ang pag-survive ng isang partnership business. Number 3. Difficulty of transferring ownership. It is difficult for a partner to liquidate or transfer ownership. It varies with conditions set forth in the partnership agreement. Ibig sabihin nito, mahirap ang mag-liquidate ng isang pag-aari ng isang partnership o pag-aari ng bawat isa sa kanilang mag-partner dahil nagkakaiba-iba ang kondisyon ng bawat isa sa kanila. Dahil sa pag-liquidate ng isang ownership ay may nakalaan na palaging kondisyon. And lastly, limitation in raising capital. A partnership may have problems raising large amounts of capital because many sources of funds are available only to corporations. Pinapaliwanag nito na ang partnership ay maaaring magkaroon ng problema sa pagtaas ng malaking halaga ng kapital. Dahil karamihan lamang sa mga source of funds ay itinatalaga lang o available lang para sa mga corporations, which is sa mga malalaking business firms. Corporation, legal entity created by law and separate distinct from its owners. In many corporations, owners who are also called shareholders do not directly manage the firm. They select manager from the board of directors. Board of directors is authorized to act in the corporation's behalf. Paliwanag nito ay ang corporation ay uri ng business na may malaking halaga ang kapital na ginamit ito at malawak din ang sinasakupan nito at minamanage. Ang corporation ay ginawa ng batas pero ay ang pagmamay-ari ng corporation o entities ay nakabukod sa pagmamay-ari ng mga nagmamanage nito. Sa karamihan ng mga corporation ay hindi shareholders ang nagmamanage nito, bagkus pumipili sila sa mga board of directors para i-manage at i-control ito, para tuloy-tuloy ang pagtakbo ng corporation dahil ang board of directors lamang ang authorized na mag-act corporation. The article of a corporation are incorporators, name of the corporation, purpose of the corporation, capital stock, and authorized shares. Meron din articles ang incorporation na itinalaga ng Security Exchange Commission or SEC bilang kanilang pangangailangan. Ito ay ang first incorporation, which is sila yung isa sa mga originally na nagfo-form at nagko-compose ng corporation. Pangalawa, name of the corporation, which is ito yung isa sa mga identity ng corporation para mas makilala. Pangatlo, purpose of corporation. Dito naman ay nakapaloob dito kung anong layunin ng isang corporation sa mga customers, government at maging sa environment. Pang-apat, capital stock. Ito naman ay ang mga amount na nakapagkasunduan o shares ng mga shareholders na nakarecord sa mga shareholders equity section ng balance sheet. At panglima, ang authorized shares. Ito ay ang mga share ng isang corporation na may maximum number of share lamang. Advantages of corporation. Number 1. Limited liability. Shareholders are liable only to the extent of their investment in the corporation. Ibig sabihin nito ay limitado dapat ang kanilang pag-utang sa mga banks dahil nakadepende pa rin ito sa mga investment ng mga shareholders sa isang corporation. Unlimited life. Corporation continue to exist even after death of the owners. The maximum legal life of a corporation is 50 years but may be renewed for the desired additional life not to exceed 50 years. Ibig sabihin nito, pwedeng mag-exist ang corporation ng matagal as long as na minamanage ito ng tama. Dahil ang corporation ay maraming nagmamanage nito at halimbawa kung namatay or nawala na ang pinaka-top pwede sila ulit mag-select ng nangunguna sa corporation. At may hangganan lamang ito which is 50 years. At pwede i-renewed ito nang hindi lagpas lamang sa 50 years. Number 3. Shareholders can easily sell their ownership interest in most corporations by selling their stock without affecting the legal form of business organizations. Ibig sabihin naman nito, sa corporation ay madali lang ding mag-transfer ng mga ownership dahil madali lang nilang mabebenta ang kanilang stock na hindi naaapektuhan ang legal form ng business at magbibigay sa kanila ng matibay at sapat na financial na kakailanganin. Number 4. Ability to raise capital. Corporation can raise capital through the sale of securities such as bonds to investor who are lending money to the corporation and equity securities such as common stock to investors who are the owners. Ang corporation ay may abilidad silang magpataas o magparami ng kanilang kapital sa paraan ng pagbebenta din ng mga stocks at bonds at sa pagpapautang nila at mula ito sa mga interes na ipinapataw nila depende sa value ng pera. Disadvantages of corporation. Number 1. Time and cost of formation. Registration of public companies with the SEC or Security Exchange Commission may be time-consuming and costly. Dito naman ay pinapaliwanag nito na ang pagrerehistro ng isang malaking business or ang corporation ay matagal or maraming panahon ang gugugulin at siguradong maraming pera din ang ilalaan dito para mai-register ito at maging legal na form of business at para walang nalalabag na batas dahil hindi naman pwedeng magpatayo ng isang business form ng hindi legal. Important business trends. Increased globalization of business, ever-improving information technology, corporate governance, outsourcing. Globalization of the firm. Most large corporations operate a global basis with a good reason. Investing abroad has proven to be highly profitable. This shows how firms have globalization by extending themselves in multiple ways across national borders. It is the change in a business from a company associated with a single country to one that operates in multiple countries. It explains that when we say globalization, it is about the transforming ways on how we interact with other nations. We Filipinos are investing abroad to gain a higher profit. Globalization of the firm will continue highly profitable opportunities to domestic firms, but this movement requires careful decision-making and highly skillful financial management. Globalization of production. It refers to the sourcing of goods and services from locations around the globe to take advantage of national differences in the cost and quality of factors of production like land, labor, and capital. Ever-improving information technology. Improvements in IT are surprising globalization and they are changing financial management. It means from the word improving, so yung pag-improve ng IT, mas mapapalakas yung exchange of profit in different countries dahil sa pagrami ng mga na-collect na datas, mas marami yung matutulungan ng organization dahil doon magpapasa-pasa ito sa iba't ibang mga business to improve more and more. Corporate governance. This trend relates to the way the top managers operate and interface with shareholders. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, which has jurisdiction over the shareholders, made it easier for the shareholders to change the way things are done within firm. Also, corporate governance is to appoint directors and auditors, and to satisfy themselves that an appropriate governance structure is in place. The same lang din ito sa Chapter 3. Corporate governance is kung paano i-manage at i-operate ng top managers ang isang kumpanya at kung paano nila i-manage ang kanilang shareholders. Ang Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC ay may karapatan na i-monitor din ang mga shareholders at sila ay gumawa ng paraan kung saan mapapadali ang pagproseso sa paggawa ng isang firm ng pagbabago sa isang firm. At ang corporate governance ay dito masisiguro na masiyahan ang bawat isa or ang mga manager o shareholders na involved sa company na sila ay may appropriate governance sa loob ng kanilang activities sa kumpanya o firm o sa kanilang environment. There are also principles of corporate governance. First, transparency. The company shall provide timely, accurate disclosure of information. Ibig sabihin nito, dapat ang isang kumpanya ay bigyan ng information palagi about sa mga gagamitin sa isang activities o sa madaling salita, dapat may nakalaang impormasyon dapat ang isang kumpanya sa lahat ng mga activities na gagawin or gatherings information. Pangalawa, fairness. Company should protect shareholders' rights and ensure equal treatment. Ibig sabihin nito, dapat responsibilidad ng isang firm o top managers na bigyan ng pantay-pantay na trato ang lahat ng shareholders, pati na rin ang mga employees na sa madaling salita, dapat equal treatment ang lahat. Pangatlo, responsibility. Seek to cooperate with such persons or companies for their own development and financial stability. Dito naman ay dapat kailangan nilang tugunan ang kani-kanilang responsibilidad sa isang firm or kumpanya. For example, ang top manager, kailangan niyang gawin at isaisip lahat ng kanyang responsibilidad. At dapat palagi siyang nakafocus sa lahat ng involved sa isang company or firm. And last is accountability. Provides guidance to the board of directors in making decisions and monitor. Dito naman ay sinasabi na dapat maging accountable ka sa lahat, katulad na lang ng pagdedesisyon, at binibigyan din ang mga board of directors ng gabay para gawin ang lahat ng tuntunin para sa isang kumpanya. Outsourcing is the practice of having certain job functions done outside a company instead of having an in-house department or employee handle them. Function can be outsourced to either a company or individual. Outsourcing has become a major trend in human resources over the past decade. Outsourcing, ito yung trabaho na kung saan ay nasa outside sila ng isang firm para mas makapag-gather pa ng iba pang impormasyon na makakatulong sa isang firm or kumpanya at para makadagdag ito sa kanilang mga ideas at strategies para mag-build ng isang activities na magpapa-improve at magpapa-develop ng isang firm or company. At may malaki at magandang impact din ito. At para sa mga nag-gather na information through outsourcing, ay pwedeng gamitin itong strategy ng isang firm or company na mag-create ng new innovative products or services na pwedeng ikaaangat ng isang firm or company. At ang outsourcing ay ito yung magproproduce sila ng goods para ibenta ito outside the country dahil may posibilidad na mabenta ang isang product ng high cost. At kung sakaling maging patok ito, pwede rin na makipag-interact ang isang firm sa ibang bansa at para mas lumawak pa ang pag-i-invest ng mga product ng isang firm at para mas lumago pa ito.